Hey, what's going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys are going to be, starting to filter on in here, doing a little bit of a direct stream from the good old BlizzCons, and we're going to be playing some of the new stuff on the new patch today. So it should be a good time. A little bit later, I'm going to be joined by Kaeo Milker. He's going to be on here answering a couple questions, and just generally, hanging out and talking about the video games. I gotta remember that the camera's here. I'm going to be like looking this way to read chat. It's kind of like backwards in my normal setup at home. But, yeah, man, this event has just been awesome. I've just been having a great old time. All right, we're going in. Let's, I did get to play a little bit of Rag today on the floor. So, and I gotta say, I mean, I love him. He is a ton of fun. But I feel like I gotta get a little bit of Varian time in there as well. It can't just all be Ragnaros, right? So we'll play a little bit of Varian, and I'm going to be playing AI games because that's basically what I do in this setup. I mean, they don't let you play against other players right now, so I'm going to be playing against these elite AI and crushing it. Hopefully, that would be pretty damn embarrassing. Glad to see him okay. I'm not even in like a hospital gown today or anything today, man. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great day. Camera's on auto lock. That's wonderful. Okay, so let's see here. I actually haven't gotten to look at the talents or anything like that yet. So level 1, we got Lion's Maw. So we can, every time Lion's Fang hits a hero, which is the... Okay, that's just the straight line ability. That's going to be pretty dope. Yo, double prime. Enwa, what's up, guys? What's up? Let's just test that out real quick. Hold on, let me just give that a little test swing. Okay, so that one seems like it's pretty easy. So it's kind of like the Master Touch from Medivh. But instead of using magic, we're like shooting line bolts of sword energy at them. It's beautiful. Mad at you for streaming at the same time as the tournament, though. Dude, this is like my scheduled time to stream, okay? You gotta get mad at Blizzard for that one. I'm sorry. Parrying a hero's tackle will refresh heroic strike. Alright, we're gonna focus on line spot. Usually that's what I like to do. When I'm starting to learn a character, I just try to sort of build around one particular style until I get the hang of it, and then I will switch on over to other stuffs. Oh my gosh. Alright, I gotta turn Quick Cast on real quick. There's probably some noob like Moonfares was streaming on this earlier. I don't know. Nothing stops Kaeo from streaming. That's right, man. Stream through anything, man. We come to BlizzCon, of course, we gotta stream. Alright, so this is the parry ability. Oh, that's actually pretty sweet. So you basically have block on demand. I like it. And then charge. So we have a nice big old slow. Is the new hero OP? Dude, Oni Knight, the Ragnaros is ridiculous. So good. I could have sworn I just saw a character named Jason here. I don't know if I'm hallucinating right now or if that's actually a thing. But if it is a thing, that would be amazing. Oh, it was Jaina. Okay, that's it's not Jason. Oh, Salinity, thank you for the host. Oh, and we're dead. Sorry, I looked over chat for like 2 seconds and died. So we got 2 charges on this on a 10-second cooldown. We've got 16 seconds on charge and 8 seconds on Lion's Fang. I still think this is probably the way to go with the level 1 talent. Dude, I just got slayed by the elite AI. They're tougher than I expected. What I'm going to do real quick, actually, just going to pop on... Oh. No, we're not. I was going to turn on Quick Cast, but okay, I can't get into the menu. That's okay. That's all right. We don't need that. Wait, I only have 2 talents at level 4? So this is like... Oh my god, so I can go tank spec or damage, basically, at this point. This is where I decide what kind of variant that I want to be in my life. Oh my god, that's ridiculous! Yes, we're going Warbringer, for sure. I should probably go help my team. I'm just reading my talents right now. Alright, Sergeant Hammer, your time is now. Okay, Zagar's just on that split push grind. Alright. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, Heroic Strike's my passive. Every 18 seconds, your next basic attack deals 142 bonus damage. Basic attacks reduce this cooldown by 2 seconds. Okay. So we have a little bit of like an Artanis style passive where my auto attacks refresh it for me. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Filthy Enwa says, any idea if Varian works as a tank pre-10? That's a good question. That's something we can give a shot to. I feel like he's going to be more of a bruiser probably. You know, like he's not going to be the guy that's your solo tank. He doesn't have all that much peel and mitigation. He's more of an engager. I feel like this is the type of character that's going to put a lot of pressure on, you know, specific people in the backline. Like you, for example, in this game, you put me against, you know, the Sergeant Hammer. I could just chase that hammer down all day and just hit him and put pressure on him. Oh, the bots are turning it up. All right, my bots actually did something. I mean, that's awesome. How are you guys all doing tonight? Sadly, I was watching live as NA fell to the Chinese and Europeans tonight. That was sad, man. Tiny, what's up, dude? Oh, come on. Are you... Oh, look at this. Oh, come on. Get in range, get in range, get in range, get in range. All right, never mind. Not going to happen. No luck. All right, level 7 talents. Live by the sword. Increases the duration of parry by 33%. I feel like that's better if you're going the tank spec. Second wind. Basic attacks heal you for 1% of your maximum health while below 50% also. Ooh, that's interesting. Huh. I can see this actually being pretty nice sustain against low damage teams. Like if you're trying to do a little bit more of like tank shredding and stuff, I feel like that could work pretty well. Victory Rush. Basic attacks periodically grant a large heal. Oh my gosh, guys, you know what that reminds me of? What am I thinking of? Arthas, Thrune Tap. Why is Cam so large? Oh my god, the camera is huge. I don't know because this is this is my derpy setup, man. It's I made the camera too big. I was having a little bit of trouble setting up the camera right beforehand, so I decided to ship it like this. But I mean, like, it's kind of cool at the same time because you get to see, like, there's the hold on, which way do I have to move? Yeah, you can see the Dark Moon Fair Eye right behind me. Isn't that beautiful? Karen, what you up to? I get to hang out with the lovely Lamosaurus yesterday. Oh, we need to pick a talent. All right, we're going Victory Rush. Wait, am I gonna get a huge heal out of this? Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's how you stay alive. That's how you stay alive. Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh, what? Raynor on the flank. Okay, all right, I see you, Raynor. Every BlizzCon, you look 5 years older. Oh wow. Hurts my feelings, man. Welcome, Kaeo. Thank you. Thank you. Actually just got home after the first part of my grandmother's funeral. Oh, Karen, my heart goes out to you. Stay strong. I know that's a very hard thing that you were going through. Oh my god, dude, Colossus Smash. Like, I'm playing an Arms Warrior right now in WoW. So, yeah, this is pretty hyped to see. I don't have time to read this just a second. Let's see. Oh, wait, I get 3 ultimates? Hello? That's amazing. You're gonna stream the unboxing of the BlizzCon goodies. Yeah, dude, that sounds great. That's a good idea. I haven't even opened my box yet. Okay, now let's hide in the bush. So none of these sneaky elite AI try to take me out. This is one I'm really tempted to go. The vulnerability. Passive. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And they all have passives. Force the target hero to attack you. Okay, not what I'm going for this time. Twin Blades of Fury. Basic attacks. Reduce heroic strikes cooldown by 9 seconds. And increase your movement. Oh, that's real good. I'm liking this one. Arthas looks even more outdated now. Kaeo, how's your BlizzCon experience as a non-player going? It's been actually really cool, man. I've just had the time of my life being able to go hang out with everybody. Oh, can we just Colossus Smash him? Oh, no, that's built in. That's right. I don't have to actually click it. Oh, you're so predictable. EU player would have juked that. Okay, Sergeant Hammer, you're real cool. So I can just like parry his. Oh, what? No. Okay, parry all incoming basic attacks for 0.7 seconds, reducing their damage by 100%. Maybe I didn't get the timing right. That is a tiny little timing you have to get. which means this character is a pretty darn high skill cap bruiser, which is a very cool thing. Yeah, interesting. Oh, it makes you tankier or DPS. Yeah, pretty much all of it does. But yeah, Tiny, dude, I've just gotten the chance to check everything out, go hang out with people, spend a lot of time meeting, you know, fans of the stream and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I'm like, don't worry, guys. Let me just parry this next attack, and then I just die. But it's like less than a second that you have to actually parry that attack. So it's a very tight timing that you have to hit. So pretty serious business. I mean, why not? Oh, my camera is so wonderfully huge. I love it. This is so weird. Like, this brings me back, because I used to not play with Quickcast. Oh my god, activate a banner that grants 25% increased movement speed. Oh, these are all banners. So this reminds me of Ariel's, you know, the tether buffs that you can give people. But I feel like this resistant will probably be either movement speed or resistant. That's what I want to go. I want to see how fast this movement speed is. And how big is the range? Okay, that's pretty good. Go push with my team a little bit. Tyrael. Okay. All right. Meme Furion over here, just walking under the keep. All right, I see you. He's getting real crazy. I think we're at the stage here where we can just slowly siege this in. Like, Reynad knows what's up. He's just gonna keep sieging this down the whole time. Oh my gosh. Okay, my autos are hitting about. Oh, look at that attack speed. That's actually pretty ridiculous. I didn't realize how fast I could attack. Dude, that makes heroic strike come up so much. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. How long do I get to stream? I'll be streaming for 2 hours. So. Oh, can I turn, you think? Oh, that heal. Dude. Oh my god. I can already tell, like, a build like this is going to be the most fun style to play. Because you just run around, like, brawling people and getting little heals off constantly. Or pretty big heals, honestly. Another side of this is, like you become a pretty good jungler once you get this. Pretty sweet, man. Oh my god. Yeah, I apologize for my face being my face is actually massive right now. Double Prime, I love when they release OP heroes. Yes. Well, dude, you need to see Ragnaros. I'll show you later. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I think people will be able to dodge the wave, but right now that wave, like, pretty much just kills you. Oh, they changed it from 2 to 1 for Chu. That happens. To enemy shields. Interesting. Alright, we're just going to go Juggernaut. I bet you Juggernaut is going to do a lot of damage. These talents are often deceptively strong. Okay, 5% of max health, not that much, but yeah, it'll be pretty good for shutting down tanks and stuff like that. Yo, what up? Hitting him the dank interrupt. I like how they all just panic and stop channeling. I don't even have to actually hit them all. They're like, no. No, I'm just being cheeky. Sounds like Chu just got wrecked, man. It happens, though. Things come up, you know. You have to change the schedules around and stuff. Like, I just want to see how much sustain I actually can pull off. Oh my god, where's my team? Okay, this banner sprint? Couldn't get it off. Couldn't get the quick cast off. That glorious banner. It lasts a pretty long time, too. That's a lot of time to have 25% movement speed. Like, wow. All right, Meme Furion. Push down top lane. Let him know who's boss. Double Prime. How the hell are you doing tonight? What do you guys think of the opening announcements? How much HP the banner has? Ah, that's a good question. Yeah. I wonder if these AI can actually random into Ragnaros and such. I imagine they can. They're coming back, boys. Like if I just sit here and attack the wave, like I think I can just sustain really hard because of that big heal that comes out. How much? 390? Damn, that's pretty good. Oh, I wish you were here, Double Prime. I wish you were here. You missed the opening announcements. Ah, dude, some really cool stuff, man. I am really mind blown at the league that they're doing for Overwatch. That's some pretty exciting news. They're basically turning into like, you know, a pro sports league. I mean, they've got the regional stuff going on. Hopefully, you know, that's also the next step where Heroes will be headed eventually as well. But Heroes got its own cool league going on anyway, so excited to see the Heroes at the Dorm documentary tomorrow. All that good stuffs. Uh-ohs. Uh-ohs. I think I can 1v2 these guys. Dude, the fact that that's a stun is just ridiculous. Come on, I need one more heal. One more heal. Oh, come on, one more heal. Oh, he had palm up too. Okay. If I had one more heal there, I would have had him. DJ asked me to road trip with him down because we only live like 5 hours apart. Oh, that would have been awesome. Should have gone for it. Oh, there's the little live from BlizzCon thing is just like chilling at the bottom too. Let me just move that real quick. We're just gonna pop that right up here instead. Maybe right down here. Yeah, right up here is good. There we go. Fixed. Saved. Where are we at? Okay. So I think like Varian, his role is really going to be focused around being a frontline brawler and just sort of dueling with people who are, you know, like going against like the Sonyas and the Thralls and everything and just sort of ripping them up, getting them with those auto attacks. You got a lot of sustain built into his kit. And I got to try the tanky style as well. Let's see if I like that anymore. Okay, watch this. Watch how much damage this stun does. Oh my god. You can absolutely shred backline too if you like dive in on them. They're just dead. Saved. Beautiful stream. Sorry guys, you know I'm a Twitch noob. You guys know that. Come on. Be easy on me. Rainer's coming to back me up. Oh my god, that's so dirty. Almost, almost. Come on, Raynor, get in. Why did you take the long route, Raynor? You were just going to come back anyways. Oh. NA Palm. Less fun, but actually more viable as solo tank. Yeah. For sure. It's been a good time, though. I've been hanging out with Moon and Horse Pants a lot. And just watching everything, like, talking a lot to them about plans. 2017. All I can say is we've got some cool stuff in store. This guy reminds me of if Greymane and Sonya had a baby and it was an adult. Yeah. That's perfect, actually. I like that. That's a good analogy. You've got like the war paint style stuff. You've got the dive. Zagara. Zag dead. I can try to, I'll try to make maybe the stream window just a little bit smaller. Moon Horse Pants. Yeah, good old Moon and Horse Pants. Wonderful gentleman. I think he's going to be doing his stream tomorrow, I believe. Increases Twin Blade of Fury bonus. I mean, oh my god, the banner gives a heal too? Holy cow, that's going to be so strong with Mouth. Did this Mouth go Tranquility? Oh, he totally did. I think we go the super banner. Let's try that. Can you imagine, like, you throw down the banner and then he pops Tranquility? Like, we win. That's it. It's over. That's going to be great. See, like, look how much damage I can just do to this Jaina. I can just stick on her all day and just chunk her down. If I don't die. Oh my god. Dude, that was the quickest snap frostbolt I've ever seen. Is that Smelly Pickle? Hey! It's the Smelly Pickle just rolled up to the side of the stream, so that's pretty hype. Moonlord, the Salt Throne, yes. He's probably gonna rage quit the Blizzard stream tomorrow, let's be honest. Okay, what does this other level 20 do? Frenzy. Twin Blades. Oh my god, the camera's consuming everything. Twin Blades of Fury increase your attack speed by an additional 50%. Basic attack to increase your movement speed. That kind of reminds me of the Samuro level 20. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. All right, since I'm dead for a good hour here. Oh, actually, I'm up in 10 seconds. Next time I die, I will change the camera up so you guys can actually see what's going on and not just my face. But you guys are seeing all the people. You guys got like HD of the people walking behind me and everything. What's that? Yeah, what's up? Kaeo. Yeah.
What's up, Kaeo?
Got people surrounding the stream. It's pretty great. Pretty great. Okay, we're about to finish this up, and next time I think we try the tank build. We're gonna go tank build next time. Make it bigger. No, I'm not. No, stop. Stop. Oh, look at this. Look at the tranquility with the banner. Oh, the dream. Okay, oh, that's not the dream. That's not the dream. Chill for a second. Oh my god, that was the closest, scariest exchange of my life. Do we like not have a tank? We don't have a tank, do we? Oh, well, I'm the warrior. I get it. Okay. I see what's going on here. This whole time I've been like, I feel like I'm extraordinarily squishy. Feels like we don't have anybody in the front line. And then I realized, yeah, that's actually the case. I should have gone tank build. It's a lesson to learn there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You just punish when somebody moves in like that. And I've got the parries ready here. Oh, he's dead. 100%. He turns on me. Oh, shizzles. That's not good. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good now. We're getting out. Actually, we're turning. We're turning. We're turning. I just want to go. I want to go hard on the Sling Ming. I think he still has palm. Oh my god, the turn. These AI are not bad. I'm actually a little bit impressed with this AI. Okay, I'm sorry if I break the entire stream, but I tell my story. Oh my, oh. Hold on. Fixed, saved. Hooray! There we go. Is that a little bit smaller? I think that's a little bit better, right? I heard a maw go down. Yeah, this is AI. I can't play against anything but AI right now. Dig just made top 4. 2-0 PBA. Oh my gosh, Dig. The dream. Is there any more sets going on tonight? Or is that the last set of the night? Production value. That's right, man. We're doing it live. I had set up all my stream stuff yesterday, and then like today the profiles were gone. I was very sad. Very sad indeed. Okay, move it up and smaller. We can't see all the... Shut up, Tiny. Yes, you can. You're just trolling me. I know you've got like Civ open in the other window or something while you're watching. You're just listening. I know it, man. Okay, here we go. Watch how fast I can kill it. Oh, the whole team's there. Okay. I gotta be really careful when I pick my engages because we don't have like a tank or anything. Oh, okay, here we go. We got it going right now. Instantly melted. Yeah, I went DPS build. I went for the full like auto attack build across the board. Yeah. Dude, this level 20 where you get 50% increased healing on everyone, paired with tranquility. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. The ultimate is like basically like a weird passive bonus. So like for this one, it reduces my passive comes up more and I get movement speed. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Have you got a chance to play him? He's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I didn't get to do that one yet.
I played that, but Jack got Ragnaros.
Nice.
It's like the old brawl we get chance from weird people.
Oh yeah, good.
So he got Ragnaros, chose him obviously.
Oh, you gotta go rag.
Dude, the other team had 2 Ragnaros.
2 Ragnaros, so like 2 flame waves going down different lanes. That's broken. Hey, what's up, puppies? Welcome. How's it going, man? Can't see top talent. Baby rage. Yep. Do you think the tri-spec kits make Varian kind of weak? No, I don't think so. I think that you either become a very high dive burst type of character that can put pressure on backline targets, or you play more as a frontliner. Oh, see, like this is perfect. The movement speed is actually easy to underestimate, but you can really stick on somebody with that movement speed. DK Starlife, yeah, it's Illuminati, man, 42. The new 323. Okay, if any, yeah, okay, I can probably get this. I like how I'm gonna gank this Tyrael, start pinging him. Habits, man. I don't know, maybe the AI will listen to my pings. Maybe they'll respect my decisions. Yeah, the movement speed is crazy. It's. Yep. Where's my team? Oh, I'm so close to getting him. Oh, one more auto. I would have the heal. No. Oh, look at they're like, no, we're backdooring core. Is it just me or is Kaeo looking extra good tonight? Getting out of the hospital is good for him, I guess. No, dude, I should have went to the hospital out on the Blizzard stream. GG. Yeah. Yes. What is this?
It's a Chen pin.
Guys, look what I just got. Smelly Pickle just gave me this beautiful, beautiful pin. Oh my gosh. I'm going to treasure this forever.
I wish I could give you a hug. I wanted to hug you, but you're...
Oh, I'll see you later.
Okay.
I'll see you around. And joining me now, guys, is going to be Kaeo, the other Kaeo, the other side of it. How you doing, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Great to see you. Hop on the headset, and we'll be off on our way. So this is pretty surreal because a couple hours ago, this guy right here was on the main stage, you know, giving the presentation to 20,000 people and just absolute madness.
That was crazy.
And yeah, now you're chilling here with me. This must feel good now. Just get to relax and like just play some games and hang out.
It does. That was intense, and I'm really glad I got to do it, and I'm really glad that it's over.
Oh, the camera, or let's see.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, okay. I'm very smart.
It's all good.
Nailed it. All right, you able to get in there a little bit?
I'll sneak in here.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Cool.
Move the camera, dude.
Immediately, Kaeo Milker joins the stream, and the viewers are just pouring in, dude. They're here for you, man.
Oh, my parents are there, I think. I think that's my parents.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, Kaeo's mom. Wait,
Yeah.
is that my mom or your mom? I don't even know.
So I have to say, every time I go to any kind of esports event or
Yeah.
convention, I'll go and I'll meet someone. We'll be introduced.
Yeah.
And then someone will introduce me, and they'll say my name is Kaeo. My name is actually Kaeo, but they'll introduce me as Kaeo.
Right. Okay.
And then the person who I'm meeting goes, "Oh my God, I love you. You're so awesome. You're such a good player." And and this happens every time.
Yeah.
And then I'm always like, I wait for a second, and then I go, "Actually, I'm Kaeo. That's Kaeo, the pro gamer streamer.
My gosh.
I'm Kaeo. I work on the game." And they go, "Oh," and they turn around and they walk away.
No.
That happens all the time.
No.
And so it's interesting.
So, like,
it's interesting living in your shadow.
When please. When I first heard that, you know, I'm gonna just say Kaeo just for the sake of the funny, you know,
I've been called-
duality of our name here.
Let's do it.
When I first started learning that, you know, there was a dev named Kaeo, I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, who had the name first? And they're like, it's his first name.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
I guess you probably had it first. I mean, although I did have the name Kaeo actually as a childhood nickname when I was
Mhm.
younger. So maybe
What's
you
the
only have me
origin
beat
of
by a
it?
couple. Well, my initials are Ko, literally.
Okay. Mhm.
And when I was younger, I moved into this neighborhood where there was already another Kurt, which is my first name. So people were like, we're going to call you Ko. And I was like, that sounds great.
All right. Well,
And it's catchy. It's,
we'll keep on
it works for me.
KOing it up together.
So we're here playing some, just messing around, playing some games versus the AI here. Just going to test out some of the 2 new characters, which is Varian and Ragnaros. Really
Yeah.
exciting stuff.
Super exciting.
Both of these characters are kind of game changers, right?
Totally.
Because Varian, he can approach the game in different ways. You can basically pick your play style, and then you have Ragnaros on the other hand, which is just like a complete wild card to the game, which did not expect that at all, and it's so cool. I love that you guys are always willing to go all out with the character design and basically make game-breaking characters. That
Yeah, I
makes
think-
for a lot of fun situations.
Yeah, all those early decisions we made, team leveling, the talent system, those are the things that kind of open up these opportunities for us. So we love taking
Yeah.
advantage of them. And BlizzCon has been the place that we've really brought the craziest of the crazy. And so
Oh, yeah.
it's pretty fun this year to bring 2 of them that are doing really different things. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I like that theme that's come up where every time a BlizzCon comes around, that's typically where you guys unleash the insanity on the Nexus.
Yeah.
So interesting thing that one of my viewers pointed out, and I noticed this on Braxis. There's actually a shout out to you. Have you seen that? The Kaeo on the Archangel, the
Yeah.
boss on the map.
Yeah, it's funny. So one of our senior artists did that, Steve
Yeah.
Provost, and he put it on there. And at first I was like, oh, that's really cool. And he told me about it. I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And then later on, someone's like, it's the boss, and he kicks your ass. And I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
it's not such a good thing. But yeah, that's kind of fun when those little Easter egg things happen. And there's some
So
kind of
when I
nod.
saw that, I was like, really confused because I totally blanked on the fact that
Oh.
it was about. I was like,
It was our.
I didn't know I meant so
section.
much to Blizzard. That's incredible.
You're like, they put Flash and Boxer on the other one, and I'm on this one? Man.
Exactly. Like I'm considered an esports god. So
We
just
could
looking
change it.
real
Maybe
quick,
in the next patch we'll.
dude, just put in like a
Put a-
parenthesis, what is it, a Y and a H, and that'll work.
Could do
Just-
that.
So
I'll
it can
I'll
be
put
either
in a
person.
task for that when I get back to the office.
Okay. So here we're playing Ragnaros,
Yeah.
and basically he's a character that has a lot of push potential, and just a lot of general, I'd say, team fight strength and damage that he can put out. But he also has the utility of being able to be a great defender. You can jump onto a fort or a keep and actually just completely decimate everything for a while, and that's totally awesome. I love that. I was having a lot of fun playing the Magma Wave earlier.
That's pretty intense.
That I'm pretty sure that's the ult that everybody's taking right now because it's just so satisfying, like visually,
Yeah.
to see that Magma Wave just cruise through the entire map.
It does work as well.
Yeah. Oh, it certainly does. Yes. I saw at one point earlier we were playing on Braxis and they had the the Zerg Swarm pushing against us.
Yeah.
And not only did I kill the entire Zerg Swarm, but I also killed a player. So that was that was a successful ult. I'm gonna call that one value.
It sounds balanced. It'll be okay. We'll get this.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you a couple questions while I have you here.
All right.
And, of course, one of the questions that's going to be at the top of everyone's list is, how do you counter Samuro? Is that a thing? Have you guys figured it out internally? Because externally, we're still trying to figure that one out.
I think we're still all learning this together.
Yes.
It is a
okay.
journey we will be on together, and we'll sort it out.
In all seriousness, I do want to say, though, that, I like that you guys you made some changes, you made some tweaks, but you're giving it time. I like that you're giving the players time to figure out the answer. I always joke about this with the stream, but what seems to happen is, like, with the Samuro thing, you guys made some changes to his numbers, tweaked him down a little bit, and then nobody has played him since then because he gets banned every game.
Yeah.
So nobody actually gets to test and see if he has changed, for the better or the worse or whatever. And well, obviously he's going to change a little bit for the worse, but people still just first ban him every game and assume he's strong. You got to give him some breathing room for people to be like, let's try not banning him and see how strong he actually is. So that's an important thing. And do you guys think about that, like with characters, making sure to give them time?
That's usually our approach to this. Like we learned a lot from making StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3 and the original StarCraft. So our
Yeah.
philosophy for balance has always been to try to take a very measured approach to it. We're trying to look at as much, like gather as much information as we can, and
Sure.
it's everything from the hardcore data that we're getting from our business intelligence team, like the actual raw numbers of what are people actually doing, to our personal experiences. We go home, we play this game every single night.
Yeah.
We're there with you
Yeah.
on the giving or receiving end of Samuro. And so we're looking at all that stuff, and we're trying to take into account, especially with a new hero. Sometimes the problem is like it's just new. Like people just don't know what to do yet, right?
Yeah.
And we are figuring it out. So we like to give them some breathing room. I think the notable exception to that has been Zarya recently. And I think probably the biggest reason for that with Zarya is that she was the last new hero that was going to be playable here at BlizzCon.
Yeah, so that was like something you really had to figure out quick.
Yeah, we didn't have time to kind of let her settle. She came in really low anyway, like lower than we'd anticipated.
Yeah.
So we had to make a very quick change and then another quick change after that. But I think she actually landed in a really good place after that. But, and we got her in a much better spot for BlizzCon. But
yeah, interesting. It's cool to hear. I mean, like that must be a big obstacle to deal with. Is like you've got this major tournament with $1 million on the line. You have to come up with an answer. Right, you have to choose where you want her to be, and that can be a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Now this game, by the way, I'm just building. I'm going all for boulder talents.
Cool.
And you know, the thought occurred to me as I'm playing this. Ragnaros seems pretty ridiculous on Infernal Shrines.
Yeah.
Right, like the characters that are popular on this map are the ones that are great at point contention. And with Ragnaros, I mean, you can ignite or blast wave people so that they can run in there and just explode on the minions. You can roll your boulder through it and snipe them. You just run up and melee, and obviously, we're in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, look at that. That
Nice.
AoE is just so satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. All right, close. Come on, clean up. Where's all that Brightwing damage? But yeah, he seems like he's going to be great on this map.
Yeah, we still love that. We love that on different battlegrounds, different heroes have more or less viability, and that you're really getting the opportunity to pick something that is meaningful every game, even if it's a hero that you might not pick on another battleground as much. I think Rag's got potential in a lot of places, but it's cool seeing where he can really shine as well.
Yeah, it's always cool to see where heroes end up being strong, like on particular maps and stuff. We have to do this. So
Yeah,
people
we need to
want to
see
see it.
Yeah.
Ah, Molten Coral. Look at how big the. Oh my! I've actually never hit that button before.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
That was amazing. This one actually rains the boulders across, and then you've got the explosive rune. I'm not even sure what this one looks like either. Oh, that effect is
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's pretty sick.
Oh, it actually has a fairly short time, so you can't just sit on your keep forever.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh, and that's a long cooldown too, 100 seconds. So you guys obviously didn't want that to be something that could all of a sudden make a game unendable. The fact that you have give a speed boost. The fact that you could just give a keep permanent defenses, basically, like really overpowered defenses.
Yeah, we're trying to do that give and take here, balance it out.
Yeah.
Again, this is another thing where, Varian's going to come out first, so Varian will be in the PTR next week, and Ragnaros will be coming in here for a couple more weeks. But really excited to get a lot more data on him and see how things are shaking out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the fun part of it, and especially with characters like this, I feel like it's probably the most challenging to, figure out where the character actually is and where they stand in terms of power. It's just so hard, like, because a lot of the data is a lot different. It's like you're going to be, I mean, the EXP difference and stuff is going to be really weird on a character like this, especially with like the fact that you can use that magma wave and just like decimate like 3 minion waves in a row and stuff like that. There's a lot of weird, wacky stuff that you're doing. It's very unusual.
Yeah.
Really? Look at that. Look at that Gazlo. Just outplayed me.
Go Gazlo. Falstad was pretty brave too.
So, okay, here's one thing I wanted to bring up with you, because I think it's interesting. I've heard a lot of people say that they would like stuff like this. But before I ask, I want to just talk a little bit about the fact that there's been a bit of a new trend that I've noticed, and it's that a lot of games that have traditionally been very hardcore PvP experiences have started having a lot of success allowing people to sort of just team up and do more PvE, which is player versus encounter, playing against the AI and stuff like that. More satisfying experiences in that department rather than just playing in the normal PvP sense. So a couple examples would be like Hearthstone. Oh, come on, Falstad, you just spread that to me? Okay, with Hearthstone, you have the adventure mode, which people are loving, and it's extremely scalable difficulty-wise. It's, for the top players in Hearthstone, it's still hard to beat those heroic challenge modes right when they come out.
Sure.
And then in Overwatch, you guys successfully made that really cool Halloween event, and that could work pretty similarly in a game like this. Do you think you guys would ever further explore sort of adding PvE type of experiences that sort of take playing against AI to the next level?
Definitely. I think Brawl is our place to do that.
Yeah.
Much like Overwatch just did. I'm excited about it. I think it's a really cool way to play. I enjoy that type of gameplay. I like it as kind of an addition to what we have now. We've spent a lot of time and energy making a really good PvP game, but I think that these characters and the mechanics lend themselves really well to a PvE experience. So
yeah.
I think that's something that we're definitely interested in exploring. And now that we have Brawl, I think we have the place to explore it. So it's just a question of when.
Yeah, I mean, Brawl would be the perfect platform to implement that. And, I mean, speaking of Brawl, you guys have done such a great job with making that a fun alternative way to play the game. And that's what it's all about. A lot of times you're playing with your friends who, this game gets pretty hardcore when it comes to Hero League and everything, but if you want to just have a good time and bro out with a couple of your buddies, a lot of times you don't want the high stress and pressure of playing a Hero League game. And it's just like, okay, let's just brawl it up. Let's just have a good time, and you win or lose a couple short rounds, and then you move on with your life, and it's easy to get in and get out of. Yeah. I totally should have molten cored that keep, by the way. I just didn't even think about it. That would have been a great decision. But yeah, the brawls have been looking fantastic. Now, do you think with any of the brawl modes, if they become super popular, super successful, and it's just a mode that everybody's demanding, do you think you would ever add these to the game as like regular game modes that'll just stick around?
Sure. I think that's a possibility. I think we're going to really try to feel out a lot of different things in Brawls, and we're going to see what works and what doesn't work. And if we find something that is just overwhelmingly popular and feels like it fits in as its own game mode, and we want it to be persistent, we can totally do that. So let's see what everybody likes and what feels good, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's a cool way to approach it. I mean, like, you guys know the options there. But on the other side of it, you can wait. And look how beautiful that effect is.
Looks sick.
I actually meant to cast it down mid-wave, and I guess the targeting, you have to actually go in the lane itself.
Yeah.
I'll get it next time. But yeah, no, that's a really cool thing, and I hope with some of them, people also will really look forward to marking their calendar to get that next Brawl rotation, even if you guys don't make them regular events, and that can be cool in its own way. People are just like really looking forward to it. Just kind of like in Battlegrounds, how you'd have like Warsong Gulch weekend. If you love Warsong Gulch, you're just like all over that as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed that in our other games, and I love that we have a place now to do all those kinds of things. And we started out with this gold reward that's in there, and I think that's just a really cool, like, fun, free thing to get, an easy way to get a bunch of gold every week. And I think though people will maybe come for the gold, but the hope is that they stay for the gameplay and that we find some really fun stuff together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all about experimenting in the wacky wild nexus, right?
Yeah.
So, with that, I mean, are you also going to ever have it so that you get experience as well from the Brawl, or do you think that's fundamentally a bad idea?
We've talked about it. Like, the initial feeling was that, especially since our shuffle pick, those things where you're getting to choose from 3 randomly selected heroes of a certain class.
Yeah.
The initial feeling was that it wasn't really as appropriate to be getting it there. We could have given you player experience for it, but most people who play this game have been level 40 for a long time.
Yeah.
Today at our State of the Game panel, Travis and Dustin and Alan were there talking about how we're going to completely revamp our progression system. So we're gonna go in there and kind of redo everything, player level, hero level, all that stuff's going to get revisited entirely, and new rewards will come into play. I think that's the time when we'll really look at what we want to do with how Brawl XP, if there is such a thing, interacts.
Yeah, okay. And I didn't actually get to catch that panel today, but I thought I overheard somebody saying that they're going to take Hero League and make it a solo queue. Is that...
That's what they talked about today, yeah. So
okay.
It would be 2s, 3s, and 5s in Team League.
Oh, okay.
And just solos and hero is the current leaning. So
that sounds pretty cool to me. I mean, we don't have to get all deep into the matchmaking discussion and everything, but yeah, I think that certainly could work. And I mean, it's one of those things right now where people do kind of resent when they get queued up into like 2 grandmaster, number 1, number 5 grandmaster, and if the matchmaker doesn't find quite enough people to even the game out, it can feel very one-sided. Yeah. So I can certainly understand that. I think it's probably going to be a good change. And here finally. Oh, come on, get in there. Oh wow, I actually did get in there. That's
awesome.
Amazing. Okay. I wasn't sure that was actually going to work, but it did. Do I have an... Okay, I just have regular lava wave I can cast down. There it goes. I died, but I leave my lava wave behind. Let's see what it does here. Oh, well, oh, not bad, not bad. I think a couple steps down, I would have hit the whole team. That was close, but I'll take it. So, with all these new characters and everything, one thing I wanted to ask you and talk to you about is RNG. Because I find randomness fascinating in games, and it's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, in Hearthstone, which is a game heavily reliant on RNG and wild and wacky things happening, it can be really satisfying and fun to watch, you know, a player lose a tournament just because like of a hilariously bad luck or something. But likewise, you know, a lot of people would really don't like to see, you know, their favorite player get knocked out of a tournament because of basically losing a coin flip really badly.
It's bad luck.
Yeah, so I mean, like in a game like Heroes, do you think it's important to just have like strict parameters and you know you try to control that as much as possible, or you know how far do you go?
We try to be really cautious about it. I think you've seen like there's some battlegrounds where there's some random elements to it, but we try to do it within some constraints that make it so that you at least understand where there's the moment that it's random and when it's not, and you can kind of anticipate that and prepare for it instead of it just being like the entire randomness of whatever you're doing, you know, impacting you. We used to have things like Nazebo spiders being random in the way that they would be, you know, dealing damage. Where the new implementation of Nazebos kind of removes that to an extent.
Right, you kind of know they're going to go hit the heroes and stuff.
Yeah, the ones that you target now. So I think we've been very cautious about it. We definitely don't want it to just be a game where you're rolling the dice all the time. This is definitely a game of skill.
Yeah, this is more of the like hardcore skill mechanical esport.
That's our leaning. I think you'll see us play around with it in certain places where it feels right, but it's certainly not going to be like the driving force of this game and the way we approach things.
Yeah, totally cool. And it is the trickiness. I mean, because this is a game that has a lot of silly stuff in it, right? You've got characters like Murky that are just totally off the wall, and at the same time, you know, you have millions of dollars in prize pools that people are fighting over. So it's hard to find the right ground between the two. I mean, personally, I would like to see a little bit of wild card stuff thrown in there from time to time. I think that's fun. Personally, I really like that stuff. And speaking of RNG, there's a lot of weird randomness in the game at certain points. And that's one thing I wanted to see what you thought about, because on certain maps, for example, you know, like let's use Sky Temple for an example.
Sure.
You know the first temples are going to spawn at the top and the middle, and the second spawn is going to be at the very bottom of the map. After that, though, it gets kind of really hard to predict.
Yep.
So, like, why is it only the first two?
So with that battleground, that was a pretty big battleground that we released, and I talked to John DeSager, who's our lead battleground designer, about this. So he wanted to set up that battleground in a way that you could kind of get your bearings and understand at the beginning of the game and kind of get comfortable before it started getting all wacky and crazy on you. So it's kind of like a good balance of setting it up, letting you kind of get going before the randomness comes into play.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just one of those things that is a little bit, I feel like, unintuitive. You know, sometimes like new players that it's like, well, it is random, but you know these are going to spawn at this exact predictable way, and it's like, yeah, that's just a.
Yeah, I think our approach is we know that you can be fully prepared for those first two.
Yeah.
The first two spawns.
Okay.
And then, so that gives you a chance to kind of get your bearings though, and I think it feels pretty good on that map.
Yeah.
It is a hard thing to explain. I think now with the number of battlegrounds as well, just the general, all the timings and all of the things that are going on with objectives gets kind of
let's see how many we hit this time. Magma wave coming through. Oh, it's a good one. Oh my goodness. That is just wonderful. Like if we weren't 2 levels behind, we might have actually gotten a kill. Oh, I was going to do the ice block. The new ice block submerge where you get the stasis and the heal. That is so strong.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow. That's an ice block that heals you guys. It's pretty insane.
Man, these AI are mad at you.
I'm getting wrecked by these AI.
These guys are pissed off.
And I'm sitting here talking about, like, you know, how, like, perfect this character is on this map. But we're having an interesting conversation, and that's a little bit more important, you know, than super try-harding the game. But you guys got to see Molten Core being used a bit there. You see the Magma Wave being used to try and, like, defend and get some kills and stuff. If you think about it, like, we're down 2 levels. If we would have been ahead 2 levels, I would have Magma Waved him. That would have been some kills.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can also sort of time it to where you Magma Wave and then, like, come out from, like, a flank and a bush or something, you can do some good work. Get a lot of kills.
It's good. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, this is what was I gonna say? It's kind of funny how you go into this little like it's like thank you for playing,
Yeah.
and then you gotta wait for it to like reset or whatever. But
Yeah.
that gives us good time to hang out and talk a little bit.
It's our trade show UI.
What is your favorite build with Ragnaros so far? Have you gotten to like experiment yet? I know it's so new.
So I've played him a bunch in team playtests,
Yeah.
but I've played lots of iterations as he came along. I
Uh-huh.
think in his final form, in this form that you guys are playing, you've probably played him more than I have in this form now, just in your time that you've been knocking him around here. So
Yeah.
maybe a better question is, what is your your favorite been so far?
Okay, well, I didn't even get to look at all the talents necessarily. I'll probably take a little bit more time to look at talents, but for me, I feel like getting the Q stacked up early on, killing those minion waves, because wave clear is a huge part of why this character is so strong. That's traditionally been something in Heroes that defines characters' power level is how much can you push, how much can you shove the wave, and punish early game. So, I think he's gonna be great for that, and leveling up that Q, smashing down the minion waves is gonna be a big part of it. Also, the boulder is good, but a little bit less reliable because you don't know for sure if you're gonna hit that.
Sure.
Meanwhile,
trade-off.
so Varian, if you played him a lot as well, I'm sure.
I have, again, though, lots of different flavors of him. So we've probably talked about this a bunch, but the life cycle of a hero is now anywhere from like 6 to 9 months that we're working on them. And
Yeah.
we have them playable from very, very early on in that process. So we go through so many different iterations of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're playtesting them every week, multiple times a week. So I actually have real trouble. Like, I'm doing press and answering questions, and I have real trouble separating the various.
That has actually got to be
iterations.
really hard.
It gets super confusing at
I mean,
times.
even sometimes it's from like a caster's perspective, I'll be like casting a tournament, and I'll be like, yeah, Nazebo might take Ice Block at 13, and people are like, he doesn't have Ice Block. Or he does now. See, like, that's what I mean. Like, it's confusing.
There's a lot of stuff changing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those funky things. I can't believe I lost to AI. I'm gonna get so much crap for that.
It almost feels like your allies are like a lower difficulty level than the.
It could be.
than
It
the
could be.
enemy,
I just have to carry harder. Am I in camera lock right now? I totally am. Turn that right off. Yeah, but look at that. So you drop that, you ignite yourself, and then you finish it off with the smackage. So then you almost got the rest of these stacks.
Pretty good.
But being able to roam around and just like if you can get 2 waves of stacks going, you're gonna be crushing it. So that seems really, really strong. And yeah, man. So like, how have you been enjoying the convention so far? I just I've been barraging you with developer questions and everything. Like how are you doing, man?
It's all good. I love BlizzCon. This is this time once a year where all the stuff we do, like we get faces and names attached to all these people that we're making these games for. So I don't know. There's like no better place to be, I think, than BlizzCon as a Blizzard gamer and a Blizzard developer. This is just an awesome experience, and I've been lucky enough to have been around for a very long time, and I've gone to all of them. And every year, like so much of our schedule and we build our content pipeline around BlizzCon. Everything centers around it, and it's a lot of work, and so much goes into it. And you'll see like everybody working the show. These are our employees. This is our developers and people from every single like.
And this is the big payoff moment where all your hard work kind of gets to be shown to the world, and everybody gets really excited about it.
Yeah, and it's just a time to celebrate all this stuff, and I'm so glad we get to do this, and it's amazing, and seeing how much it's all grown, and getting to do this every year, it's awesome. And there's a lot of work going into it, but being here now, it's all worth it and so exciting.
There's just so much going on, and I have the same thing on a small scale where it's just you were talking about like putting names to faces and stuff. I meet a lot of the people from my stream and everything, and just seeing all of them come up to me and be like, hey, what's going on? I enjoy your stream. Like that is just an incredible thing.
Yeah.
And I've been having a great time. I was actually, as I was waiting for our stream to start, I was sitting over there at the table, and I was just getting lost in this cookbook Q&A because I'm trying to learn how to cook a little bit better, and yeah, that was pretty awesome. I need to get that cookbook real bad. All right, this is a tricky talent tier. So level 4, you can either get the slow on blast wave, which seems pretty good. Catching fire. This one is really interesting. After gathering 15 regen globes, you can activate catching fire to gain resistance for 3 seconds. So not only do you get sort of just like a bonus to your regen, but you also are going to get a resistance, which typically in this game is something people almost always get.
Yeah.
People love their resistance. And then here you can also just get the good old spell blocks. I don't know. What do you think is the best one at this tier? I'm probably going to go Catching Fire just because I can roam a lot on this map.
Catching Fire is pretty good here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Catching Fire. Let's do it. I need to try a build that centers around this Ignite as well, because I feel like that's going to be one of those underestimated abilities that people learn how to use and are like, wait, this is actually really strong. That felt bad, man. That was a lot of damage.
Thanks, Limara.
Considering the new player experience, the Brawl and events like the one we had during MOW and the next one coming up help a lot. But overall, for new players and free-to-play, it is really hard for them to get themselves going, considering the gold acquisition is just a bit low compared to hero prices. I'm saying this as a player who has bought a lot of hero skins and mounts, so I have a lot of gold thanks to my account of 100k gold. So my question is, are there plans to ease the new player experience as well as the planned gold sinks for old players like the piggyback? That's a great question.
Okay. So let's start with the new player experience. You know, we recently changed the kind of onboarding for new players from a gold reward that you got originally. You originally got like 2,000 gold, so the idea was you're supposed to be able to go buy your first starter hero. Now you get a choice of a free hero in the new player experience. So we kind of started with that of just saying, let's give you something right away. You get to pick a meaty hero that's fun to play that you can kind of dig into a little bit. Yeah. The progression and reward overhaul that they started talking about today at the State of the Game panel, that is really the next step of that. And so what's going to happen is there'll be a lot more stuff happening. You'll be leveling more often. You'll be getting more rewards while you're leveling. And it's not just going to be gold. Gold is kind of this intangible for people who are new to the game anyway. They don't understand the value of gold. They don't understand when they should hold it. And when
they're just like, cool, I got some gold.
Yeah. So I think that new experience will be much better because you'll be making progress and you'll be getting rewards. And Travis was talking about, you know, we haven't given all the details and we're still talking about what this will be, but you know, ideally our entire player catalog is available as a reward, right? We can give you free stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All, like hero skins,
and
mounts,
that feels
whatever.
good. It feels good to be like, oh, I got new characters and I didn't have to spend all of my currency.
Totally.
Now, he was also asking about, you know, the gold sinks. And this is an interesting one because I am personally a player that has like 150k saved in my bank, and I've bought all of the master skins that I can get. And so, you know, what's next?
Yeah. I was kind of the person who pushed for some of those gold mounts in the beginning, like the Treasure Goblin and things, were things that I kind of championed as fun little ways to give those of us who have a lot of gold something fun to get.
Sure, yeah.
I think you'll see in the future that we'll find other things to spend our gold on. I'm like you. I spent a bunch of money, so when you spend money, you end up with a lot of gold.
Yes, exactly.
You're not spending all your gold on heroes. So
yeah, being a streamer, you know, like the first thing I always do, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy the new character because I want to be showing it on stream, of course. So I have spent all the money, so I've got all the golds.
Yeah, we will have more things to spend your gold on for all of us who have gold.
Very cool. And I remember my teammate Soldier, he was so excited when he was you know, like the first guy on our team to get the piggy bank, and he had been saving up all of his gold to get this, and he was so stoked. And now like that we all have it, he's kind of like, now I want something better.
Yeah, what's next, huh? Yeah, people were talking about, like, can you make 100,000 gold mount so I can have something really cool that lots of people want to have?
Yeah. Well, I've always found, by the way, that the sort of profile side of things in your avatar and the experience of community that you get from the elements of the game outside of the game, you know, outside the actual match itself, are important. And to me, it reminds me of, you know, Battle.net 1.0 back in the day when, you know, in Warcraft 3 and stuff, you had your little profile page, and the avatars there were some avatars that were really hard to get, which are kind of like the golden avatars that we have in Heroes of the Storm. Now, do you guys want to keep building on that and sort of adding, you know, more ways to distinguish yourself, I guess, and show personality and flavor and stuff through the game itself?
Definitely. I think, you know, master skins were kind of a way to sort of scratch that, but we recognize that there's some challenges with that. Like, if you happen to not like the aesthetics of the master skin, then maybe that's not the way you want to be able to show that, right? Like, I'm not a fan of master stitches, so I'm not gonna engage with that. So ideally, as we do this progression, wow.
Is that a
Sylphira smash?
That was beautiful. I've never used that ultimate before.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. In the video, they did that to Chromie. It's so nice to see her.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Body up into the ether. I forgot what I was saying.
You were just talking about how, you know, the stuff in game that distinguishes your personality.
Okay, so with the progression system and the new rewards, ideally, if we do this right, we'll come up with new ways to show things like, like right now, you can get your master skin at level 10, but then there's nothing after that, right? You're getting a couple gold rewards.
And if some people don't like the aesthetics of their master skin.
Yeah, so I think what it would be is something that lets you distinguish yourself and show that you've engaged in this way and you've hit these important milestones that take a lot of work and dedication. And be available to you. So if we do that right, we will have cool things like that you'll be able to show that stuff. But it won't necessarily be a skin. It'll be something else that is very visible that everyone can see. Like, oh crap, you did that. Like, that's awesome. And you get to kind of fly those colors. So.
Yeah. Interesting thing I noticed, by the way, is that you can actually cast this on minions. So it says, ignite yourself in an ally. Sometimes you don't think about the sort of hidden text of it.
Yeah.
Igniting that on a minion, you could be able to get some sneaky kills and stuff. Somebody's running away. They're not in your range, but you can just get that last tick of damage from igniting a minion or something like that.
Totally.
I love that when you're like learning a new character and you just like you're like, wait, that's almost like a riddle. It's like the information is like subtly left out to where you can pick up on it, and you like figure out all the little extra stuff you can do.
And that's the fun of making these games. Kind of. We always look at it as we're trying to put this tool chest in your hands.
Yeah.
And then we see what players do with them. And you guys are always doing so much more with them than we envisioned too. So that's the fun of it, is kind of seeing those amazing things that come out of it, especially at your level of play and pro level of play. They just do stuff and we stand back and we're just like, whoa.
Yeah. My extreme level of play where I lose to AI. Right. Hey, I'm
our
learning.
super BlizzCon AI though. They are pumped.
These are these? Is this DeepMind? Is that what I'm? That was really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that DeepMind presentation, and I'm excited to see, I think that kind of thing would be really fantastic to see in a tournament. It's like, all right, well, here's our grand champion. Let's put him up against DeepMind next.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Oh, hey, I got my resistant now.
Cool.
Let's see.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to get that all stood up and we get to see what happens there.
Oh, okay. All right. Very effective Ravenous Spirit there. Masterclass in the Zebo here. But yeah, no, DeepMind maybe eventually coming to Heroes, right?
Well, I think now that they're working on it for StarCraft, that would be really cool.
Oh, can I time this? Ooh, I think I got it. Wait, maybe not. I think Lunar would have taken more damage. I don't know.
It's hard to tell, huh? Looked like you got it.
This is actually stronger than I expected. I never got a chance to try that ultimate yet, but wow. That does quite a lot of damage. And the stun on top of it. Talk about the wombo combo dream right there. I like it.
And it looks cool, too.
What is the level 20 upgrade for Magma Wave? I actually have not seen it yet. 2 charges! Woo! I was speculating in my head that it was all lanes, but 2 charges actually probably will get you more value because you can actually use it when you need to.
Yeah.
Can you use them like right on top of each other?
I think so. I think it might have a really short cooldown between them.
Yeah, like a global cooldown type of thing. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'm so ready to just double nuke an entire team down when they're trying to push. Oh no, I could have interrupted that. Bad. Alright, let's get out of here. Get out of here. Do we have any other questions from the... Feel free, by the way, guys, to ask questions in chat for Kaeo or Kaeo, whoever you want to ask here.
Be sure to specify who it's for, though, so there's not any confusion.
Yeah, exactly. So your name, your actual name is Kaeo, and it's
Kaeo.
like it's a Hawaiian origin.
It's Hawaiian.
Right?
I'm from Hawaii originally.
Awesome. That's really cool. And here you are, ended up at Blizzard.
Yeah.
All right, Warforged said, Kaeo, are there any design changes for existing healer heroes? I know Oriole was the first in the new direction, not just a heal bot.
Yeah, I can't talk about anything specific there, but they're always kind of reevaluating existing heroes, and supports are something that, there's not as many of them in the game, and we get a lot of feedback on them. So I think we're constantly looking at ways that we can make them more interesting and more effective and more fun to play. So nothing exciting that I can tell you guys, but I think when you guys have feedback on that, we want to hear it. So
speaking of, just high skill cap, I guess, that's kind of what he's getting at by saying not just a heal bot.
Sure.
Playmakers. I was really, I thought Varian Rin was really cool with how, he's got like that parry where it's a 0.75 second block. I mean, you got to be on top of your mechanics to get those quality blocks in.
Yeah.
And that's really neat. Like, stuff like that I think is just great for this game as an esport. Oh my goodness. Okay. They're just so coordinated.
Yeah, they have it together here.
Their focus fire is just beautiful. I think they snuck DeepMind in here, guys.
Something's going on.
I'm skeptical. DK Starlife says, will there be any gold compensation for players who already own the heroes in the new Nexus Challenge?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure that there won't be. I think this one is going to be one where if you already have them, there's not some gold at the end of the rainbow there for you. But I can confirm.
I'm sure they usually
that.
are really good at that kind of stuff, so I'm sure there will be. So question for Kaeo here is, how about the recent discussion about solo tanks and warrior diversity? People have ideas of making characters, the Anub and Diablo, more viable tanks.
Yeah,
It's hard for you to talk about specifics.
Where
I know.
are you on that? Like, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I think right now, I mean, characters like Diablo and what was the other one we were just talking about? Noob. Yeah, I think it's okay to have these sort of bruiser tanks. Like, that's how I usually describe them. They sort of hover between being very tanky, absorbing a lot of damage, but also being able to put a lot of pressure on the back line. And most of the time when people are talking about sort of these solo tanks, it's usually somebody who has peel. Like, having some stuns or some ways to slow the enemy team down and absorb good damage is really what's important. That's what having a solo tank is all about. So I think you have to change how you look at it. You know, if you're looking at those tanks as solo tanks, then it's a little bit tricky. Like, yeah, they're not the best option. But at the same time, I mean, all warriors in this game are just considered warriors straight up. So you still have Diablo and a Nubarak are just considered warriors. So I think it is important to have them be viable as solo tanks in some form or fashion.
Yeah. I feel like Diablo has his place.
He does sometimes, yeah.
There, but I can see. I mean, we've touched Anub a lot recently, and it feels like he's come more into his own. He's not what he once was, but I think he's in a much better place than he was, but I guess not as a solo tank like you guys are asking for him.
Right now, it's like the rise of the tanks. Like Dahaka all of a sudden has just become an all-star, and I think it's important to remember that characters like Dahaka nobody was touching.
Yeah.
And people would probably ask the same question and be like, oh, Dahaka hasn't been seen much play. Like, are you guys going to change her? And it's like, sometimes you just need the right person to get their hands on them and
Totally.
Try the character out. I think that's why they don't just immediately change characters like a Nubarak or whatever.
That is very real. Like, it's crazy how much perception kind of dictates reality there for people.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of times where we look at something and we're like, they're just not giving it a chance. Like, and we really need that one high visibility esports game, or someone putting up a video of something for people to wake up and be like, oh, okay, like you can do that. Let's try it. And then once they give them a chance, then new opportunities open up, and then sometimes we find out that they were overpowered and no one was just using them. So it's kind of weird how much.
Like Illidan was like the perfect example of that. Nobody touched Illidan, guys. Like, I mean, that was a character who was generally just considered awful. And then all of a sudden, like, Korea and Europe started being like, actually, this is probably the strongest character in the game right now, and just we're destroying.
Yeah.
So it's true. It is absolutely true, and characters will ebb and flow depending on, if the pros show the character being used correctly or not.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Warforged is also asking, maybe it's that we're stuck in a meta that people don't have the imagination to draft a comp that will work well with. Yeah, and that's true. And I think like sometimes there's certain tanks or certain characters within a class will just have their peaks. It's like everybody is just playing this character and it's working really well right now, so people will continue to do that. Niru looks like he has a good question there. What are the plans on essential generic talents? I know your plans are to not have any generic talents on new heroes and rework older ones to remove them, but talents like Cleanse, Mule, and Shrink Ray are very unique and sometimes essential to a specific hero or class of heroes. So what is your philosophy moving forward with these talents, and are the new heroes getting Mule? It's a very unique talent that very few have, mostly very old ones.
I think this is a really excellent question, and I'm actually not well equipped to answer it and say where the balance guys are going with that right now.
Yeah.
I think this is one though that we should probably pull aside, and we should get you an answer, and you can like relay it back to them, because it's actually a really good question.
It is a good question, man. Yeah, Nero, shoutouts, man. Great question. So I agree, though. I think like stuff like Mule is actually a fun, interesting part of the game. Okay, this is what I love. When you guys take generic talents and you add some flavor to them. That sort of makes it interesting and makes sense to me. Like, for example, level 13, you've got on this character, you've got Submerge, right? It's essentially an ice block, and I feel like, at the beginning of Heroes and the way things were done with generic talents, this would have just been Ice Block, right? Which would have been kind of funny for Ragnaros to be
Fire
Ice Block.
Lord.
but you get the idea. The fact that it sort of has its own unique twist on it, where it heals you or whatever. Now, Nazeebo is still one that has Ice Block, and that's one that I hope gets like its own interesting flavor of Ice Block.
Sure.
But those are the kind of things that, not instead of getting rid of those talents or whatever, but they instead can make them more interesting for specific characters.
Sure. More interesting and appropriate. Oh, nice.
Ooh, that was a good one. I probably only hit clones though. Let's be honest. That's just Samuro things.
No.
Stay on top of them. All right, this is my moment. I'm popping. Oh, maybe not. Oh, look at that heal. The turnaround. It's Medivh. Reminds me of the game tonight, Astral on Towers of Doom.
Oh yeah, that Stitches Medivh play. That was
That
fun.
was amazing. That was so hyped to watch.
I love
Like
that.
it's so cool. It's crazy when you see that actually successfully executed versus like really good players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it's killer.
It's one of those things you think in theory it's just gonna work against like the lower tier players, but then like it literally was working against Dignitas.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't end up winning that game, but it was still really awesome.
It's really fun to watch.
Yeah. Get over here. So I mean, like, yeah, does that make sense? Just like the way like you guys add flavor to generic talents. Yeah, I think that's the way to go with that. Zebo Ice Block 100% should be Spirit Walk. Yeah, I mean
Makes sense.
that's the kind of thing they're headed towards.
We shall see.
We shall see, says Kaeo. And I know you've been with us for a while now. Feel free whenever you have to head out.
I'm just doing BlizzCon thing, so this is cool.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad to have you here. That's awesome. Just look at. All right, now this is what I wanted to see is what the level 20 upgrade is on. What? Heroic difficulty? That is an amazing name for a talent. Your health and damage are increased by 50% while in Molten Core, and its cooldown is reduced by 50 seconds. So there you go. I mean, there's your ultra defensive play that you can pull out. And then this one, we get a 50% slow. All right, well, I think I'm going to go Heroic difficulty just because it's a little bit more fun. The other one just basically buffs the numbers a little bit, but definitely very effective option. And by the way, another thing that I adore is when you guys take level 20 talents and just make a lot of wild, wacky options. The Storm talents, right?
Yeah.
Like those are where a lot of the really fun stuff of the game is. And when it comes to creating those level 20 talents, I imagine for you guys it's hard to balance it because there's it's like for one, players don't get to level 20 nearly as often as a level 7 talent. And a lot of times they have these like drastic weird effects on the game. I mean, how is that process going through and adding those like crazy talents and stuff like heroic difficulty and figuring out like how strong it actually is?
Yeah, I think it's something that they focus on a lot because it is so transformative. Like you get there. I mean, like you said, it doesn't happen in every game though. So it's like we're creating this cool moment where something really meaningful happens and it really like changes the course of the game. It can change the course of the game, but they're trying to be really wary of that. Like the idea is not supposed to be just, all right, the game is now over if you hit level 20 before their team does, but it should change the way you think about approaching your next play. Like it should really transform it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, like right now, it's like okay, you take the heroic difficulty, and you know that you're going to be able to just defend keeps for days and pop that all the time. That's just like really cool how it can change your playstyle drastically as well. Now I saw a decent question here. Let me find it. Okay, Double Prime brings up a good point. Are there basically what they're asking is any new game modes that would sort of force you to play like different builds, kind of almost, it sounds like you're almost talking about like, have you ever seen Day 9 Dailies Fun Day Monday?
Yep.
Yeah, like that whole style of like, hey, here's an arbitrary limitation and like, see how it affects the game for you.
I definitely think we could do that in Brawls. There may be Brawls in the mutators that we do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we like to get people out of their comfort zone in the same way that there's these perception things of like there's the right way to play the game or the right way to play a hero, and trying to get people out of that comfort zone and discover all these other opportunities that we've provided them that just no one is seeming to find the purpose for,
Yeah, you've kind of give people the push to get them to try that stuff out.
So I like that idea, but it would be fun as a Brawl.
And speaking of that, I think the Brawl is important, and the fact that it gives players a forum to get weird with their choices and
Yeah.
how they play the game.
Give some
'Cause a lot-
permission to do that. Relax a little
exactly.
and just try stuff.
Like you're there to have fun, and a lot of times you have these like static builds that people just go, "What's the best build for volley?" Like what do the pros run, and they don't really figure the character out themselves.
Yeah.
And or they're just scared to pick a particular character because they feel like they can't do well enough on that character. Well, in Brawl, you play like a 5-minute round, and if you lost, I mean, hopefully nobody's gonna flame you over that.
It was. I thought it went really well. The Punisher Arena Brawl for me was really positive, and people seemed like they really were just relaxing and having fun with it. And
Yeah.
I think the the Hammer Time one was a little different because it was a little more like the regular game.
Yeah.
But I still had a blast in that one, and I think we'll keep trying different stuff and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I mean, like from what I've seen from a lot of players, is like Hammer Time was definitely like not as popular as Punisher Arena, and I actually haven't messed around too much with Hammer Time yet, so I don't really have that good of an opinion on that particular brawl.
It's
But
gone
it's
now,
ju-
too.
yeah, exactly. It's just like it's cool that like something can be like bad or like maybe something people don't like, and then it's just like, oh, it's just gone. Like that's it. You don't have to play it anymore. So. Yeah, I just hope you guys continue to be crazy with your ideas for Brawl, because that's really interesting. Just the experiments that you guys can kind of do with us by giving us these tools to play with. At the same time, you gotta be careful not to make like game-breaking modes where it literally like bugs out the game or something. Is it hard to come up with all of these different ideas for Brawl and then be like, is that gonna break the game?
No, I mean most of the time we're trying to break the game, but in a fun way.
Yeah.
So. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
And I think there's so many Brawl ideas, and we've done things like we have our Brawls planned out for months and stuff now. So there's there's a lot of cool stuff coming, and I like the variety. Like the arenas are really fun. Like when we showed them last year at BlizzCon, people loved them. We had so much fun with them, but we just really felt like we wanted more stuff to be doing with it and more variety. And so that's why we kind of went back and turned arenas.
I had such a
into-
fun time
yeah.
playing the arena modes last BlizzCon.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever when it comes into the game.
Yeah, they're super fun. So I think we have this variety now. This week, we have our first single lane battleground as the Brawl. And yeah, and people are having fun with that. Like looking at how much people were playing Lost Cavern in custom games.
Oh yeah,
it was really
I played it all
popular.
the time with my subs and stuff, and they, everybody has a great time.
And I love the people, because we don't give them the tools to do that. They're just there having their gentleman's agreement to play it as random and stay in the middle lane before we actually offered Lost Cavern to them. So it was kind of cool to get that in the game, and then now to have matchmaking around it and have some fun with it.
Cool. So with the Ghost, the Blackheart's Revenge. So what's the whole like story behind that? Because you guys have basically done something really cool in taking out one of the cores, which is totally different than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, we've always wanted to play around with asymmetrical gameplay, and
it works in a lot of like RTSs and stuff, right? Like
but it felt like it wasn't as safe to do that as a normal traditional battleground for us. So Brawl again opens up that opportunity, gives us permission to do something really wacky. And I think so that's a test there. We'll play with it. We'll see what it feels like, what people think of it.
Sure.
I think it could be something that if we find the right map and get the right feedback on it, it could be something that could come in as a normal battleground. But we just got to feel it out. And I like having
that would be
opportunity to
wild if you had a map like that just actually in like the competitive rotation where you just don't have a core on one end. I think that's one of the biggest selling points when I talk to people that come into my stream and they haven't played the game before. I mean that's the beauty of Twitch. People find your stream and they're like, hey, I don't really know anything about this game.
Yeah.
What's different about this game? And one of the first things I go to is like the best thing is being able to play different maps and have these like varied experiences, and it makes the game fun to play for like a long period of time rather than just mastering one map. And you have a lot more like stale metas when you only have one map and everything is just figured out. In this game, the difference of maps not only switch things up in the map mechanics, but I mean the hero pools are different on each map too. If you look at Battlefield of Eternity, that map pool, I mean the hero pool that what is considered strong on that map is drastically different than
Totally.
most other maps. So that kind of thing is great.
Yeah, the multiple battlegrounds part of this game was one of the earliest decisions that we made of like really trying to change it up.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most controversial ones internally. Like people were like, you can't have more than one map. Like that's just like look around, you know, like it can't be done. And I think I like really credit the design team, Justin, and the designers in those early days of like fighting all of that internal like turmoil about these decisions.
All the naysayers, man.
Yeah, it was these things, and I'm so glad we did that because I think it's such an awesome part of this game now, and it really mixes things up. And like you said, being able to sit down and play, and the way our map rotation stuff works when you're playing, you know. Generally, you're not going to get the same map like back to back too, so you're really going to get a lot of variety when you sit down and play a bunch of games.
Yeah, exactly. I think Nero had a good question, and I'm going to try and Nero, if you don't mind, just go ahead and post your question again. You asked a really good question before, and I'd love to get your question answered. So go ahead and throw that back in there. Let's see here. Tiny was asking, I have a few friends that play Overwatch and have already asked me how to teach them HotS and play with them to get the skins. Are there plans for more cross-promotion/play between Blizzard games?
We've done that a couple times now. I think we have a lot of fun with it. We have so many passionate Blizzard players, and a lot of them are playing multiple Blizzard games. So it just feels like a cool thing to do to kind of reward you in a bunch of games at once. Like
oh yeah.
So I think we'll keep looking for those opportunities. We've done it a couple times so far. This Nexus Challenge, I think it's a big one. Like it's a really cool skin in Overwatch, and you're getting other stuff there. And then we're giving away tons of free stuff in Heroes as well. So I'm actually excited to do that. I think people like free stuff.
People do like free stuff. I can confirm. And you know, I think like the Blizzard verse, so to speak, is interesting and unique in the fact that, you know, I mean, you do have probably out of all the different platforms out there, people come onto Blizzard's Battle.net and play like 3 different games in a day, you know, and having that sort of like family connectedness of games where it's like, I'm gonna go play a MOBA for a little bit, or a brawler, you know, or I'm gonna go play a card game, and I'm gonna go play an FPS. Like let's mix it up. I can't believe I've gotten 2-0'd by the Elite AI here.
You're
at
distracted.
BlizzCon.
We're talking, you know.
They won the championship. Elite AI takes down North America. I thought just the other regions were better than North America, but
the AI is now as well.
But yeah, we were talking about what was I just saying? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, just about how like crossplay between all the Blizzard games, and that's a very great thing. All right, we got Nero's question again. Are there plans to rework the replay system and the reconnection system? Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys have some thoughts about that.
Yeah, we've made a lot of improvements to reconnect,
Yeah.
like to our rejoin feature over the last year and a half, and I think there's still like the core problem with it, and what people are really suffering from is if you're really deep in a game when you get disconnected, the time it takes to simulate and get yourself back up to where the game's at is usually longer than the remaining time in the game. So when we look at our stats for how many people disconnect, how many people actually reconnect to games right now, the vast majority of people, the system works great because you disconnect early in the game and you're right back in, and it's pretty seamless and it's a good experience. When you disconnect late, it is a crappy experience, and it's something that we have technical limitations right now that prevent us from being able to dramatically speed that thing up. But we hear you and feel you, and it's something we want to do, but it requires a significant amount of work for us to do that. And right now, the percentage of games that happens to is really, really low. So when we look at prioritizing all the things that we're trying to do for Heroes, we have to take that into consideration. So I'm sorry that that's a bad experience. And
I have no idea the scope of the technical problems. It's very hard to talk about that unless you have like a tech guy there being like, yeah, this is exactly why it's a problem. But you know, that's definitely something that hopefully Heroes can eventually just continue to improve on, and
we'll keep looking for opportunities to make incremental improvements to it and try to make. I mean, there's things we can do. A lot of disconnects are out of our hands. A lot of disconnects are happening on the player's end, on the ISP end. But there's things we can do, everything we can do on our side to minimize the disconnects that are happening as a result of anything we have control over. We're going to keep doing that, and everything we can do to speed up your ability to reconnect. We're going to keep working on that as well.
That sounds great. By the way, this game I'm going to go more of a defensive build here. I'm looking at my comp, and I noticed that we don't actually have a full-on tank. So this is the perfect scenario to go that build. If you guys haven't gotten to really see too much about Varian yet, basically you have like 3 build paths you can go down, and I'm gonna go for the tankiest of the builds, and just be basically like a good old prot warrior and try and soak up as much damage as I can for my team. Let's see here. Hold on, let me make sure I don't die before I read this question. I have to win this game. It's important.
Redemption.
Sinister Kitten said, sometimes in games it feels like you don't make a difference no matter how well you play. If the worst player on your team is worse than the enemy's worst player, then it feels like you can't do much on your own. I know it's a team game, but sometimes it just feels like too much. Feels bad, man. I mean, I think that basically at the end of the day, you know, it's a matter of, can you carry in Heroes of the Storm, right? It's people want to be able to pull more weight of their team.
Yeah.
But I think fundamentally the design of this game is you know, it's a team-centric game. You do rely on your teammates heavily.
Yeah, and I think you could definitely see that there are opportunities for exceptional players to carry in this game. But what they're talking about is
just watch Rich's stream. Yeah, there certainly is.
But they're talking about that I have people who are around my skill level and who are doing stupid things or not performing well, and I can't make up for them. And that's a real thing, and that's certainly a downside of that. I think in the future, one of the things that we're looking at doing, we've talked about a little bit, is we're evaluating ways that we can look at your personal performance in a game and use that to impact how your MMR is adjusted, as well as ultimately how your ranks are adjusted if you're playing ranked play. So that will at least give you some ability to say, if you are performing well in your games and you're doing the right things and playing smart and making plays, that will be reflected in the way you know, you're progressing through ranks and MMR.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that totally makes sense to me, and I think it's one of those things that just the way that Heroes is set up as a game, you know, it is, you know, generally you're relying more on your team, sure, but at the same time, the fact that you have this resource system where it averages out the level means that, like, you know, even if your player, if you have the one player who's bad, he's not going to get to the point where he's just like completely reading the game for your team, because he's just like an outlier on the average, right? And piggybacking off of that, I think it's cool that I feel like we're at a point now where we're starting to actually see players sort of transcend the like the highest level of play. I mean, Rich is the perfect example. You know, I mentioned him a second jokingly. Oh, shouldn't have done that. But Rich has shown, you know, through his streams, through his Hero League records and everything, that one man can truly carry in this game. Like, I mean, he is an absolute god. So I think that's cool, because it's like, we haven't really had that person yet, you know, to really be like, look, like, this is somebody who is absolutely undeniably a wrecking ball on his own, a complete, you know, monstrous force on the map. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like, I mean, I'm curious about, like, what does Blizzard think about a player like Rich that's just, like, so dominant?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's like the thing you kind of wait for, is that person to really show what all of this can amount to in the right hands.
Sure.
And it's crazy though how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like every time. Okay, so in Korea, oftentimes Illidan is banned versus MVP Black solely because of Rich's Illidan, right? And I mean, in most regions, you know, it's not a big deal if you give up Illidan and let Illidan get picked early on.
Sure.
But you literally can't let Rich have Illidan, and somebody is that good, and it's just like that is so cool to me, to be able to, because you have a lot of people who are like, yeah, but I mean, like, is there really like a god of that game? And it's like, yes, there is, and it's that transcending that highest level of skill.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can get another question from the good old Chatty Chew. What Doth Life says, Kaeo, can you ask about how Tri-Mode is going to be overhauled, like Mr. Milker talked about in his Grubby interview a month or two ago? Sorry. Oh, no, go ahead, man, because sometimes I don't see your question the first time. Please repost your question if I miss it.
Sure. So the things I talked about, Grubby was asking for more controls for you guys to be able to kind of change things up. I think that's what he's asking about. But Tri-Mode we're actually looking at as well, trying to give you even more options.
I mean, you guys did do some good work on it recently.
Yeah, there's been some updates there. There's people asking for things like, can I have a multiplayer Tri-Mode where we can kind of experiment with things together? And so that's kind of stuff that I think we'll talk about and look into ways to do that. I still would like to do what Grubby's asking for, though, too, which is expose some of the kind of mutator dials that we have. Things that would let you guys go in and do fun things for your streams, or just for custom games so they can play and just experiment and do
or just for raw testing. I mean, people love their data, and You know, Grubby is one of those guys who takes new characters and goes and like tries, you know, his ability on the target dummy 500 times to see if it gives him a 1% increase in damage. And those people are out there. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know if you caught that shield that saved my life. Did you see that? I was being chased down by 3 of their teammates, and I was certainly gonna die there. I popped the parry, and it actually gives you that full invulnerability for a second. That is so strong, man. That right there. Beautiful. Oh, nice. We're actually doing well this game. Is this actually real life right now? All right, I'm going to go ahead and answer Nero's question. Says, are there plans for adding custom mutators to maps like the co-op missions in StarCraft that you can customize in private games? Also, are there plans to include tools for content creators to create machinimas, for example, or map editors, something of the sort?
Yeah, so, all right, so let's start with custom mutators. I think that's the kind of thing that we were just talking about that Grubby was asking
pretty much
for.
wrapped that one up,
Yeah, I'd like to do that. There's some work involved in it. I don't have a timeline for it. We're doing lots of other things too, but I think it's like a really cool thing that I would like to provide for you guys who are playing and for streamers like Kaeo and Grubby and anyone else who wants to do interesting things. So that one's there. Tools for content creators. So early on in this game, we talked about a strong desire to release the map editor. And of course, we want to do that because we're coming from, we made Warcraft 3.
You're Blizzard. This is what you guys do.
Yeah, we made StarCraft and Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, and this entire genre came out of our players making custom maps, right? Like, so it feels like the full circle cool thing to do.
Yes.
There are a lot of challenges with it, and we have a lot of competing priorities, and so over the years now, because it's been years we've been working on this game, it has taken a distinct backseat to a lot of the other things we're trying to do. I still think it's a meaningful thing. I don't know when we would work on it because we have so much other cool stuff we're trying to do that I think ultimately serves the game better.
Yeah.
But I hope that the mutator thing can scratch a little bit of itch. It's nothing like someone going in and making this totally amazing, you know, someone going in and making the next Dota, which is kind of your dream of what's going to come out of
somehow make
like
a new genre.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to build soccer or something in this game. Like that's people always manage to do that.
Yeah.
Love it.
But we're super passionate about that. I think just looking at the history of these games from our team, like it was literally Team 1 that made StarCraft and Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. So, yeah.
Dude, I love how the aesthetics change with certain talents in the game.
Yeah.
Like the fact that when you go this tanky build, like the shield comes out and everything, or otherwise you're like a dual wielder with a faster attack speed. It's like Dahaka with the claws too. I love all that stuff.
Well, they went to town on Varian, and I think because BlizzCon is this time where we're really pushing everything.
Yeah.
Like last year, Cho'Gall was like the equivalent of basically like 3 heroes worth of work for us because there's so much stuff, not just aesthetically like with art, but also tech and code that had to happen to make Cho'Gall possible. Varian on the art side is super intensive. There's so much going on with him, and like he changes with everything that you're doing. You know, animations, weapons, everything's changing up on him all the time.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And there's a lot of there's good visual tells for like where he's at right now. You know, I really like that about him.
Yeah, that's cool. Like if you pop the parry, just, like the full animation of him pulling his sword and shield up and everything is like that stuff is just gorgeous to look at. It really brings a lot of immersion to the game. One of the sillier questions, you could opt out of this one. Tiny, who is one of my viewers who owns a lot of like liquor stores and stuff, he was curious, what's your favorite adult drink?
My favorite adult drink? I don't know. I've been doing a lot of just craft beers lately. I'm in that mode. On our team, we have a couple kegerators with a bunch of beers on tap, and so every team meeting they get different like local craft beers and stuff. So at work is actually the best place to be drinking beer.
That's incredible, actually. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. I bet you Tiny is gonna approve of that. Man, I should probably. Okay, now I'm gonna split push. I'm not gonna be able to rotate up here in time to deal with that. So now I'm in more of a split push situation. The banner, by the way, really cool idea.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was theory crafting a little bit, and I think the level 20 upgrade where you get Glory to the Alliance, it gives allied heroes near your banner 50% increased healing. You pair that with a trank, like duo Q with a mouth. Oh my goodness.
Sounds pretty good.
That is some amazing healing. All right, let's see what else we got here. I prefer this Kaeo more. Hey, Tiny.
Dang.
Oh, maybe you have to replace me on the stream, man. You have to do a Trixler and stream while you're not at
that
work.
would be bad.
Are you extremely busy, like with your whole, dealing with like producing heroes and everything? Is this like, I mean, do you find yourself like having enough time to like play the game a little bit on the side? And
Oh yeah, so I play the game every night, and I
Yeah.
have since the very first day we took it home for company alpha.
Mhm.
Actually, we did dev alpha before company alpha, where we just sent it home with like the developers from certain teams. But the whole
That must have been
that-
a great time to be getting your hands on the alpha and
Yeah.
just being like,
Well,
it's here.
that whole push was really about me trying to force our team to get used to making a game like this, because
Yeah.
we were used to making StarCraft and Warcraft 3. We were used to making box games. We were used to having years to get our game done and push it out as a box. And
Yeah,
so
certainly.
We were trying to teach ourselves, how do you make content constantly? How do you patch the game all the time? How do you balance like working on the next thing plus coming back and fixing the thing that you just did because it broke, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're trying to just get all that stuff happening.
You got to be quick.
But
You got to be quick. It's all a matter of something gets noticed, and
Yeah.
you guys have been getting a lot better with your hot fixes and everything, and just being very quick to deal with any problems that come up. And I appreciate that. I really like that. Just as a person who plays the game as my job, basically, the fact that you guys are so on top of everything, and you guys are getting a lot closer with the community, I feel like, and you guys listen to feedback and implement solutions very quickly.
Cool. We were trying really hard on that. I think we recognize how important that is for this game, and we really appreciate everyone's feedback. And it's something that we try to structure the team in a way that we have the ability to react to that stuff. And I think you guys see us when we do react, and I think when we don't react, you're wondering what's going on. But I promise you, we're always trying to weigh what's best for the game and what we have the actual ability to react to. So we're always doing those things. But on the when do I play thing, so I've been playing from there, and I was so excited to bring it home because for me, I'm at work, I'm working. Like I said, we have play tests multiple times a week, so we try to get everyone to participate in those, even if they're in the middle of like some massive amount of work that they have to do. But for me, I work all day, I go home, spend some time with my family, and then it's Heroes time.
Yeah.
And what Heroes time for me is don't sleep time.
Oh.
So I definitely sacrifice my sleep for it, but that is like my thing, right? So every night is 10 o'clock to 2 a.m. or whatever. That's Heroes time, and we just go. I just go play Heroes.
Oh, that's actually a lot of time, man. That's
yeah, and
awesome.
I've done that since early on in the Tech Alpha, and played thousands of games in the Tech Alpha, and played thousands of games since launch. And it's kind of crazy because where I'm in my life with work and family and everything.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about this game. Like, we've made a game that in little spurts I can go and have amazing experiences, but there was someone who did a song today at the contest.
Yeah,
the
I
Heroes of the
came
Storm
in
song.
right after it, and I didn't get to hear it, but I really want to hear it.
It was actually awesome. It's actually a really good song. But she said something in there about, like, you say just one more game, but it's never just one more game, too, right? Like,
Oh,
and
that's
kind of,
so
that's
true.
what happens to me all the time. And so I'll be like, oh, it's 2:30, and I got to be at work in a couple hours. But
I know
then
that
I go to work
feeling.
and I have lots of things to talk about because I've been playing the game all night.
Yeah,
experiencing
You
things.
sound like you're very dedicated to the craft and what you do, and you guys have made a beautiful product, and I know we all enjoy it very much in the community. I think we might have time to squeeze in another question or two, so let's try to get one. I'm going to switch mice here to do some fancy juju with the chat. Aniru posted this question. His questions have been great. He says, recently StarCraft announced that they're going to show each player their MMR and how each match affects your MMR. Are there plans to do something of the sort in HotS? Personally, I don't mind not knowing, but I think it would be awesome for top players to know their MMR. Maybe just make it available for Masters or GMs. Also, why is the leaderboard based on points and not MMR? Also, if you never implement something like it, please just make it visible for the player and never to others. Man, you just asked like 7 questions, so I'm going to leave the thing there so that you can dissect that as you please.
All right. So yes, StarCraft showing MMR. We have talked about showing MMR. Travis McGathy, who's our lead systems designer now, he's talked a bunch about we think we want to show you MMR. We're debating who do we want to show it to, when do we want to show it. Those are kind of the conversations that we're having now.
Yeah.
So we're going to sort that out. I mean, I think there are some leanings to do things like you're saying, let's do it for Masters and GMs. We certainly are going to want to show it to you for ranked play rather than like quick match or something. And if we expose it to other people, it might be like an opt-in thing, like you see it in your own profile, but like you're saying, maybe it's not something that's exposed to everybody. But there's a lot of debate about that stuff. But we hear that people want to see that real number. They want to know the hidden MMR, not the points that we're doing that are designed to kind of smooth out that process. Because at the end of the day, your actual MMR is pretty static. That's part of why it's not, for most people, it's not moving around all the time, right? It's a relatively static number, which is not as fun as points that have some fluctuation. But at least that was the idea when we first approached it.
Yeah, points
and
and rank are a lot more fun to watch. Rise and fall, and it's a lot more clear feedback, I guess, than.
But I think we hear this and we're moving that direction. We just need to sort out all these kind of lingering questions and debates that we're having about it.
Yeah, you just have so many competitive players, I feel like, that are just interested on that, And
I mean, everybody at this point, from very early on, we've had HotS logs forever, and people have basically used that number and just said this is, so they're seeking out a way to give that information, even if that information is not entirely accurate today, right? So I think we're inclined to give that to you guys. We'll just figure out how.
Yeah, I think
when.
It's one of those things where you also, I feel like, don't, it's probably hard because you don't want to have players get discouraged or something from seeing their MMR if they're not happy with it, or like confused by it if they don't understand what it means, and they're just like, I'm just playing this game for fun, like I don't know what that number is, and if it goes down, all of a sudden you feel bad or something. But yeah, overwhelmingly, players, being able to at least go look it up, in your profile or something like that, and everybody just uses the external tool to do it, but at the end of the day, I do agree that, whoa, the flank KT coming. Don't do that. That was not bright. Kaeyo is not known for his flank abilities, especially walking into melee range like that. I actually feel like I haven't gotten to taunt anybody yet. There we go, taunted. Oh my gosh, I actually am really enjoying this build of Varian, by the way, much more so than I thought. And I was kind of like, well, I'm just gonna play this build just to well, of course I'm gonna die right now. Well, actually, I might be able to stay alive. There's a lot of poison damage. Tassadar, you better shield me, buddy.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, he did. Oh my gosh, what a legend.
That was close.
Anyways, what were we talking about? I don't quite remember, but then he also was just asking about, I don't know where you were with it, but we were just saying hiding that information generally, but you can just go into your profile and look at it or something. That's my take on it. I think having it not be something that's flashed in your face all the time, but also be accessible. All right. Let's see here. Warforged Speed. This guy's, by the way, the ultimate Anubarak fan. He just loves Anubarak and everything about it. Always gets excited when I play it. So how do you prevent a style of play from being too prevalent, i.e. stun meta or global meta? Will we get new character models? We saw Brightwing and it was super cool. Oh, the Brightwing model. Yeah, I've heard about the Brightwing 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, Phil showed that one, and I'll talk about Brightwing real quick first.
Okay, sure.
So the challenge with something like Brightwing. So Brightwing, we went back, and we did this with a couple of characters where we went back to an existing hero and we reworked their base model. And we have a bunch of them that we did that are just kind of sitting there. And the reason we didn't release them is that for every person that's excited to have a new base Brightwing model, there's someone who's upset because they love the original Brightwing model and we changed her. And so that's challenging with this game. I think...
Yeah, you get a Reddit post either way, oh my gosh, they changed my Brightwing. I love the Brightwing model.
There's not a way to win that one. I think we have, I think everyone expects that we're constantly evaluating and trying to make these heroes better when we're changing their kits and we're changing some of their play style. So there's a little more leniency, I think, for that. But there's something about aesthetics that people get really upset about and that we're trying to balance that out. So we're trying to be mindful of that, and there may be a time that we do come back and rework something like that, but we're just being very careful about it. And
yeah, no, I can understand that. Yeah, I think just you guys are doing a great job. Aesthetics of the game are just flawless, and I trust you guys. You guys know when the time is right to unleash the models onto the world.
Cool.
So back to what the actual question was.
Okay, a style of play from becoming too prevalent.
Yeah.
I think that's a challenge. We get into those little things, and what's hard too is that sometimes we talked about before that there are possibilities lurking in this game, and sometimes people find them and sometimes they don't. And sometimes a big swing like that will happen where they suddenly uncover and start really driving for something like a stun meta that wasn't really there before. And sometimes it's when we haven't necessarily changed anything, they're just finding it, right?
Yeah, promote might be actually secretly OP right now, but we aren't using it quite right.
Right.
And then somebody figures out how to use it just 5% better, and all of a sudden promote meta begins, and you guys can't really prepare for that.
And that's hard. So what our hope, I think, is that we're creating enough options out there that
Yeah.
there isn't one thing that is the right thing to always do. And the hope is that you guys are finding different things to do, and in different situations on different battlegrounds and different comps, you're going to do something a little different, and it won't just devolve into just this one boring thing that we're all doing all the time. And so when it starts doing that, that's when we look for opportunities to come in and mix it up a little bit or add something new that's more compelling than that, so you have a different option.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, let's try to get this one question in here. We're getting close to the end of the game. Hold on, we might be in a team fight here, but I wanted to get Rag Knight's question in. Since I used to play other MOBAs, let me see here. Hold on, I'm getting torn between the question. Do you actually want to just
Sure.
read
Which
the
one are we
question
trying to do?
The Ragnaros one right here.
Okay. All right, so I used to play other MOBAs. I always wondered when will a hero get resource such as mana, rage, energy, and when will they won't. For instance, why is Samuro a hero that has no secondary resource and relies only on cooldown? So they try to create a lot of different feelings with these heroes. They're going for different play experiences. So you might see rage, and you might see energy, and you might see mana, and they're all hero to hero. They're getting them in different ways. They're spending them in different ways, and we're just trying to mix it up, right? Sometimes we're making those decisions based on what feels right for the character's playstyle. Sometimes we're doing it because it feels right for the character's lore and who they are and what you expect them to be. So there's a lot of things that kind of drive that. The important thing, I think, for us is that there's some variety there and that we don't just do one thing. And you'll keep seeing us do that. You'll keep seeing this kind of bouncing around to different things that all have their own like unique feel and place in our game. And I'm excited that we do that. I think that's actually a really cool thing.
I think that's a great way to approach it. It adds a lot more flavor to the game. And you got to remember when they do that, you know, all of a sudden, like certain characters, it affects how strong they are on a particular map. If you're on a huge map that requires a lot of pushing, well, if you have an Oriole as your healer who doesn't have to rely on mana, you can just like be a constant battery and keep going. Little things like that are wonderful, and they make the game as interesting as it is. All right, I think we might be committing here to the all-in. I'm hitting with the demoralizing shout. That is a beautiful noise, by the way. I've got one more set of parries here.
Wow.
All right, we got catapults coming in, though. I'm actually confident. I think we might have it. One more parry. Come on.
Nice.
That's the last game of the night.
Nice.
Hey, we got it, man. Feels good.
Good job.
Woo.
Finally, payback.
Finally. And yeah, we hit our time window very well with that.
That's perfect.
That's like I'm just planning this the whole time. Like every time you see me die, it's actually calculated to get the times right.
It's brilliant.
I'm just that good. I didn't actually lose those games. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like I think we've gotten through a lot of questions tonight, and I hope this has been insightful to you guys here watching. I'm just scroll down here, so if anybody was saying goodbye, yeah, I'll be able to see it and all that good stuff. But thank you, Kaeo, for joining me, and it was an absolute pleasure, man. I'm glad we get to just like talk a little bit, you know, because you're one of the devs I have actually not interacted with quite as much, and you're an absolute pleasure, man, and giving us some insight into you as a person and your feelings about all this different stuff in Heroes was really enlightening.
Cool.
So
good meeting you for real and talking to you, and I love this stuff. I think we should get we should definitely hang out more often and talk to
like
you
we could do these kind of things, you know, once in a while. It'd be cool. The chat really picked up with the question thing, and it sort of turned into a cool like forum thing because you know I had a couple of questions I really wanted to ask you, and you answered them thoroughly. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. It's been a pleasure coming to you guys live from BlizzCon. I love how we have the Dark Moon Fair in the frame. Isn't that just wonderful?
Pretty sweet, actually.
And guys, the con so far has been an absolute blast. Kaeo did an amazing job today getting us all hyped up for the new stuff coming in Heroes.
Thanks.
And yeah, that stage, that's terrifying, man.
I'm glad it's over.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the stream tonight, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful night. I'll be back on the streams a little bit later this week and weekend. So take care until next time. Have a great one and enjoy the rest of the tournament and all the good BlizzCon stuff coming to you live tomorrow. See you guys. Peace.
Bye, guys.